Please state your name.
Debbie. Sorry. Debbie.
In your full name?
Deborah Spiewak.
All right. And where do you live?
Live Oak.
And how many children do you have?
I have 4 children.
And how many grandchildren?
12.
Debbie, how do you know Aiden?
He's my grandson.
And how long have you known him?
Since he was born.
And how often would you see Aiden over the years?
All the time.
And when you say all the time, how is that?
I mean, we're always together. We're a big family. We do everything together. We're always together. I stayed with them too because I work here in Jacksonville, so it saved me a drive to not have to drive home all the time. So I would stay with my daughter and her family.
So a lot of dinners and breakfasts, you would see Aiden?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Okay. Who did Aiden live with?
Primary with his mom, but his dad and his mom shared, custody.
So how often would he spend days or weekends with his father?
They alternate. I think his dad got him Tuesday and Thursdays and every other weekend, so that's how they worked it. They were really adamant on having their days. Nobody wanted to miss their time.
Okay. Both parents wanted to spend time with him?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And how many brothers, or how many children Aiden's your grandson by your daughter?
Yes.
Okay. And how many children does she have?
She has 5.
Okay. And where is Aiden in that group of 5 children?
He's in the middle.
Now, did the 5 kids get along?
Yeah, they get along just like normal kids. Yeah, I've never seen any fighting or arguing or any problems at all. It was a pretty happy home.
Okay. How would you describe Aiden in that home with the other 5 kids?
Aiden's always been silly and funny and the jokester of the kids. He was always happy. Every picture I have, he smiles. I don't know what happened.
Now, what's your daughter, Aiden's mother, like?
Oh, she's a good person. She's good-hearted and kind and sweet. And she's my daughter. I love her.
And his father? What's Aiden's father like?
Oh, he's a good man. He's always been in their lives, and you don't see that often. And when people split up, there's always one that stays out of their life, but he's always stayed in his son's life from the beginning.
Now, what holidays would you share with Aiden?
All of them, and especially birthdays, because my youngest daughter, their birthdays were like a few days apart, and so we always celebrated them together.
Meaning Aiden and your daughter?
Yes, my youngest daughter.
All right. And would sometimes those celebrations be at your daughter's home and sometimes in Live Oak?
A lot of times on my property because, it's country. They like to ride the four-wheelers and go to the springs and river. And it was just, I have a lot of family out there and, everybody kind of came together there.
So where did the kids spend the summer?
Well, some in Jacksonville and some out there with me. They like to, like I said, they like the country. They like being out there. It's just more peaceful out there and happy, and just the four-wheelers. Kids love four-wheelers, and we go to Springs a lot in the summer, and cookouts and bonfires, and we hit Itch-Tuckney a lot. And what was the other part of that question? Sorry.
So in the summer, now sometimes would Aiden come with you and the family? Was there any other activities, say the Bible camps in the summer?
Yeah, they like to come. We have Vacation Bible School once, every summer. So him and his older sibling would come for that, and they like to go to the church with me. And church always had little events and activities, so they'd come do that with me too.
Okay. Now, Tristan, Aiden's responsible for taking Tristan's life on Sunday, May 9th. Yeah. But what was the plan for the night before, that Saturday night for Aiden?
Well, he was supposed to go with his cousins because they were going to spend the night at my other daughter's house. And so the boys were supposed to come pick them up, and they picked up his older brother, but he wasn't there yet. I guess he was still with his friend. So he had called them to please come back and pick me up, but they said they didn't have any gas. So that's why he never made it over there. And then, I guess, this happened.
So that night the plan was for Aiden and his brother to go out with some cousins.
Yeah, they were going to spend the night over there at my other daughter's house.
Okay.
And his oldest brother made it, but he wasn't there yet. They said he was still with his friends, and they didn't want to wait around. So when he had called them to come back and pick him up, they said they didn't have gas money. And so he ended up staying home.
So there wasn't enough gas money to come back and get Aiden.
Right, that's what they said.
Now, what mental illness do you know of in your family?
Well, the only thing I've experienced with any of that was, my son goes through a lot of depression. He still does. He always has, even since he was a teenager. My ex, which is my kid's dad, has a lot of mental issues. He has things going on. He still has things going on. He's in and out of jail. But I left him when my kids were real little, so I didn't want to put them through any kind of stuff like that.
So your son, Aiden's uncle, when was he first Baker acted? Or how old was he?
He was like 14.
Right. So his first Baker Act, he was 14.
Right. He started getting a little bit of trouble, but we pulled through it. Counseling and help. We pulled through it, but he's still depressed. He has his moments. He falls.
So you understand what Aiden's here for?
Yes.
All right.
So
is that the boy you knew?
He's not the boy that I knew. I don't know what happened. He's always been good. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I just don't need my mama to think. Wow, this is so hard. I'm so sorry. He has a good family. We don't condone what happened, and we're very sorry for your loss. He's always been such a good kid, and I don't even know where that came from. He doesn't have any bad in his family or around him, or I don't know. I can't explain. I just don't know.
Now, in terms of Aiden around the family, that included hamsters, animals. Was he ever harmful to any of the pets?
No. We all have animals, and no, he's never been mean to any animal.
And then there's younger siblings. So he's got a little sister.
Yeah.
How did he interact with her?
Well, they were very close, especially his little sister. They always played around. He was real close to her, and she still asks for him all the time, and she still doesn't know what's going on, and she wonders why she can't see her brother. But they miss him very much, and I think I'm pretty much the voice for the family, and I know I'm probably the first that y'all seen, and probably want to throw darts at me, but I'm sorry. We have a good family, very good Christian family, and we're loving people, and we just don't know what happened. I think we're all trying to wonder what happened.
Now, you've seen the newsreels with Aiden in the car. Again, is that the boy you knew?
No, when I seen that with him in there, it's like he was on something. I could tell. You just know because you're around him all the time, and he just looked like he was high on some kind of drugs. I don't know. It wasn't the same person that I know and see every day. So,
How has Aiden's arrest affected your family?
Well, we haven't had a family event since.
Relevance, any of the factors?
Overall. We're sad all the time. This is something you don't plan for. It happens, and you just don't know why, and I pray every day for both families, and I try to stay strong for my children and my grandchildren because I'm pretty much been their mother, their father, and their grandmother and grandfather, and she always cries. My daughter always cries, and then I cry, and they all cry, and so I just wish I could have changed how things might have happened if I could have been there,
And what would you like to say to the court?
I'm So I want to say to the family, I'm so sorry. I wish I could change what happened. And we pray for you every day. I pray for you every day. I pray for my family every day. And I just hope that you find peace somewhere. And just know that he has a good family and we miss him. And we lost a child too. You know, he's I know there's not physically here, he's here, and we just miss him, and which just didn't happen. I don't know, you know. I had a letter ready because, you know, I knew I wouldn't speak right when I got up here, and I could just leave the letters, or I can read the letters, or, you know. You want me to try to read the letters?
Go ahead.
I had to plan in my mind what I would say, but when you get up here and you're so overwhelmed, you just don't know what to say because it's just a very tragic situation, you know. It's just tragic. Do you want me to read these? Okay. This is to the family from me. I just wanted to tell you that I'm feeling very deep sadness for the loss of your beautiful daughter, and I know the heartache you must be going through is just terrible. And I will pray for you every day, I promise. And I just hope you find peace, you know, sometime. You know, and closure for what happened. Hang on for you, Your Honor. I can't see real good. I'm sorry. Probably look a mess. I just wanted to tell you, I know he has to be punished, and for his actions, and I love him, and his family love him very much too. And I know we're a very large Christian family, and we pray all the time, and I just hope you consider that a little bit, and please don't take him out of our lives forever. I know that I've died and not be able to spend time with him sometime before I go. Oh no, I am not good at this. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I know there's some good in Aiden. I don't know what happened to him that this caused, but I know there's some good in him, and I think if we find that out, what caused him to do this, you know, maybe we'll have more understanding of what happened. I don't know. I can't think. I just can't think.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, no further questions, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. So sorry. Wow.
Afternoon, I think it is now, Ms. Bywack. Just so the court understands, you live outside of Jacksonville, but you spend like the weekdays, Monday through Friday-ish, in the home of Crystal Smith and her family?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you've been doing that for a long time, right?
Yes, for years.
You did that when she was with Jason Fucci. You lived with them as a unit, is that right?
Yes.
And then she is now with or married to Michael Akel, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you also visiting and living at that house on Castledale Drive during the week leading up into when this happened in 21?
Yes, I was there.
Okay. Were you even there the week before this happened?
I was there that Thursday.
Okay. And then you kind of go home for the weekends and then come back.
That's
that
why
right?
when I had said I wish I was there, I wish I had like stayed and not gone home or something. Maybe I could have.
Yes,
changed
ma'am. So you observe this family a lot, correct?
it. Yes, I do.
And you've never seen any, we didn't talk about Mr. Akel a lot, but even from Mr. Akel as a stepfather, treated his family well, no abuse of Aiden that you ever observed?
I've never seen. I've been in the house a long time, and I don't never see that now.
Okay. I believe you said that those kids had it all, right?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
And they were spoiled and never went without. Is
They
that
never
fair?
went without.
You didn't see anybody excessively use alcohol or drugs, is that right?
No, they weren't really drinkers in that home. You know, which is a good thing.
Okay. And I believe you said Jason Fucci never missed a weekend. He prioritized Aiden,
No.
even though they were separated. Is that fair?
Yeah, no, he's always was there, you know, and pick up the kids.
Those summers that you talked about that he and some of his brothers would come spend with you and maybe attend BBS, was that when he was younger, like 7, 8?
Yeah, she wouldn't let him come when he was too young because she always worried about him getting hurt, you know. So I think he was like 7, 8 years old when she finally realized, okay, he'll be all right, you know. He's old enough to not get hurt and not have to worry so much. So I was allowed to take him.
Okay. But that stopped in the teenage years, right? VBS is something for like elementary age.
No,
To junior
it goes all the
high?
way up to the teenagers.
All the way through
Still
teenagers?
goes on, yeah.
How many summers did he do that with you?
Lots. I don't know. I can't. Well, I mean, it's once a year, so you have to think it was like 7 or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, all the way up till he was 14. So.
Okay. And you talked about some mental illness in your son and your ex. Is that right?
That's correct. They do have
Okay.
some problems.
But you're not aware of any or observe anything in Crystal Smith, your daughter, right?
No, she's a good girl.
Okay. And you never observed anything living with Aiden that caused you concerns?
No.
Never observed? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
Okay. You never observed him like responding to stimuli, hearing voices, anything that you needed to report?
Well, all the kids talked about the house being haunted, and I think I told you that. And I thought myself I would hear things in this house whenever people were gone. It would just be me and one of my older grandsons. And the boys would always say that there was somebody in this house, you know.
But outside of thinking their house was haunted, you didn't see anything that you felt was a mental health concern, Mr. Fucci would need to be Baker acted, anything like that?
Oh, no.
Right. All right. And Mr. Fucci never reported to you. You know, you guys were close, right?
Yeah, we were real close.
Yeah, he never came to you and said, Mr. Akel is doing this, my dad is hurting me, nothing like that.
Well, I mean, when he would get in trouble, he would just say, I'm going to get in trouble with my dad, you know. But, I mean, that's any kid. You're going to get in trouble by your parents. So.
Right, but nothing above disciplining him if he were to get in trouble at school or something like that.
No. If they got punished, they would pretty much just go to the room, get their phone taken away or whatever. Wouldn't be able to go down to the lunch court, food court that they have down there.
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Nothing further, Judge.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, thank you very much.
Free to go or remain if you'd like.